And I went downstairs and I said, "Hey, Grammy, guess what? I won the lottery."
Have you been buying lotto tickets your whole life, hoping that one day you'll live like kings? What would you do with all of your newly won money?
It's a dream, and I don't want to wake up right now.
You might think that after you win, you would be super wealthy, but most of the time, lottery winners spend all of their earnings in a short time and wind up worse off than they were before winning. This may not excite you to hear while you're out buying that lottery ticket in hopes of winning, but it is the cold, dark truth. But you don't have to be one of them. Let's take a closer look into these 15 lottery winners who did things right and are still rich.
Building your fortune to 1 billion. Have you done it?
I have not,
How close are you?
but I will.
Number 15. Brad Duke. First up, we have Brad Duke, a man who turned the $220 million he won in the lottery into $2 billion. Wait, did we say man? Sorry, we meant magician. So, how did he do it? Well, for starters, he didn't spend it all as a child who's been handed a couple of bucks at the convenience store.
I'm gonna be successful at what I'm doing.
According to Duke, he consulted with financial advisors and spent months developing a plan to manage his wealth. This man was ready for that dough. He bought stocks, bonds, and venture capital properties, gave to charity, set aside some savings. But after all that, he did something very surprising. He went on to live a low-key life. He decided to help others out by using the media attention he got after winning the lottery to share his story and encourage others to be responsible with their finances. Turns out some people end up getting even more rich after they hit the jackpot. The same goes for our next lottery winner. Number 14. Peter Lavery and the UK National Jackpot. As far as financial advice goes, Peter Lavery has one golden rule for anyone who makes it big: burn all the begging letters. Back when he won the lottery in 1996, Lavery had been working as a bus driver, and as soon as the check cleared, he immediately put his £10 million to use and began living the good life. He bought a bunch of cars and a big house, but he soon realized that this wasn't exactly the way he wanted to go. So instead of becoming a lottery cliche, he decided to reinvest his winnings into a whiskey distillery, then expanded his investment into a partnership with Cooley Whiskey Distillery. And it seems that you can never go wrong with alcohol, because Peter would go on to triple his earnings and owns over 30 properties spread across the Northern Ireland. So, what's the secret to making it big? Turns out it's smart investments and turning away whoever isn't willing to work for themselves. Number 13. John and Lisa Robinson. This power couple won the Powerball back in 2016 and made bank with their shiny check of over $327 million. And while they may have ditched the business savvy, they didn't exactly go around throwing their money on every impulse buy they could find. Instead, they invested in real estate. John and Lisa became the proud owners of a lakeside house the same year they made it big, and their crib comes with a movie theater, wooden jetties complete with stunning dining furniture, a stunning private lake, and 10 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms for all the family they could ever have over. The whole thing cost them $6 million, which, as you've guessed, is barely a dent in their fortune. But apparently, with age comes wisdom, because the couple decided to hit the brakes right there. They decided not to make any other big purchases, and are very happy living the life they are.
It's a dream, and I don't want to wake up right now.
And again, who wouldn't be? Number 12. Neil Wanless. Now, this cowboy story is a classic tale of rags to riches. What does a cowboy buy with $232 million he won in a lottery? Let's find out. He was just a 23-year-old ranch hand from a small town in South Dakota when he won a $232 million Powerball jackpot in 2009. His life changed overnight, and he became an instant millionaire. Wanless was raised on a ranch and had been working as a ranch hand before his big win. He was struggling to make ends meet and had to sell his livestock to pay for his bills. But his life changed when he decided to buy a Powerball ticket merely on a whim. After winning the jackpot, Wanless took some time to adjust to his newfound wealth. He bought a new truck, paid off his family's debt, and donated to his local church. He even purchased a new home and land in his hometown. With necessities out of the way, he now had to multiply the rest of his fortune. Today, Wanless lives a quiet life out of the spotlight. He has invested his winnings wisely and is known for his philanthropy in his local community. Despite his massive wealth, Wanless remains humble and grounded, never forgetting his roots as a hard-working ranch hand from a small town in South Dakota. Did you ever hear that joke about how the rodeo cowboy became rich because his horses always gave him a buck or two? Well, this one didn't need horses to make a few bucks. All it took was the lottery. Number 11. Richard Lustig. This guy broke the system and won the lottery not once, not twice, but an incredible 7 times. We're burning in our skin just thinking about it. Richard's first big win was in 1993 when he hit a $10,000 jackpot on a scratch-off ticket. From there, he won even bigger, with his largest payout being an $842,152.91 lump sum from the Florida Mega Money game. Unlike many lottery winners, Richard didn't blow all his winnings on extravagant purchases. Instead, he used his winnings to invest in his business and real estate ventures. He even wrote a book, Learn How to Increase Your Chances of Winning the Lottery, sharing his secrets to success.
And then I won my second and then my third, and when I won my fourth grand prize, that was when I knew.
You might want to get your hands on this one. Richard lived life to the fullest until he sadly passed away at 67. Number 10. Mavis Wanchek. Mavis Wanchek's patients certainly wouldn't have been very happy when she quit out of the blue after winning over $480 million. Can you blame her? She had just become a multimillionaire. She had been working at a medical center for 32 years and was looking forward to retiring soon when she purchased her winning ticket. When she realized she had won, Mavis called her boss to say she wouldn't be coming to work anymore.
I've called them and told them I will not be coming back.
She probably didn't use those exact words, if you know what we mean. She then contacted an attorney and financial advisor to help her handle the sudden wealth. Unlike many anonymous lottery winners, Mavis held a press conference and shared her story with the world. Kinda risky, but she obviously felt safe enough to do it. After receiving her lump sum payout of $480.5 million, Mavis paid off all her bills, bought a new car, and donated money to charity. She also set up a trust fund for her children and grandchildren. Mavis has since retired and has been enjoying her newfound freedom, probably bathing on a sandy beach in California. She has said she misses some aspects of her old life, but work? God no. Number 9. Kevin Lewis. Next, we have the hilarious coincidence that still astounds us years later. What are the odds of someone with the exact same name and age as you trying to steal your lottery? Well, in 2013, that's exactly what happened when Kevin Lewis won $1 million in a lottery. Horseshoe Cincinnati Casino was to award the winnings, and it did so. But it was later revealed that the money went to the wrong Kevin Lewis. You see, there were two regular customers named Kevin Lewis, and they were both the same age. What are the chances? After discovering their mistake, the casino officials awarded the right Kevin Lewis with the money and let the wrong Kevin keep the $1 million too. About a year later, the wrong Kevin Lewis got arrested for possession of drugs and had no money. Kevin Lewis, who deserved the money, was working the same job, had paid off all his bills, and owned a new truck. There's the importance of intelligent spending for you. 2 people, 2 lotteries, and 2 completely different outcomes. Number 8. Diana Simpson. Next, we have Diana Simpson, who lived the dream of every struggling artist. Before winning the lottery, she worked as a hairdresser. Would you believe that at one point in her life, she only had $15 in her bank account? Her life was tough because she also had to support her disabled brother on her minimum wage salary. But she hit pitch bottom when her brother died from an epileptic seizure. But the saddest part is that she couldn't even take time off her job to grieve properly because the bills were piling on. What you're about to hear next will shock you to your core. One night, Diana's brother came to her in a dream and told her to buy the next lottery ticket. He even told her the exact numbers to play. And you guessed it, that was the winning lotto ticket. She won $6.6 million, all thanks to her brother. After that, she spent it on charity and invested in stocks. She splurged a little too, but she deserved it all. Finally, she helped an organization train disability assistance dogs that help disabled people. Have you ever heard a more inspirational story? Number 7. David Ashcroft. The universe really does seem to help out those who are in need despite trying their hardest. David Ashcroft was a struggling truck driver from England when he won $15.7 million in the National Lottery back in 1997. It was a life-changing moment for the father of 2 who had previously been living paycheck to paycheck to support his family. After winning the lottery, Ashcroft didn't immediately quit his job as a truck driver. Good choice to think things out rather than throwing caution to the wind. He continued to work for a few months, but eventually decided to retire and enjoy his newfound wealth. But instead of buying everything he could think of, he decided to use his winnings to give back to his community. Ashcroft donated generously to local charities and even built a trust to support local causes. He also established a scholarship fund to help young people from his hometown pursue higher education. Today, Ashcroft is still involved in charitable work and continues to enjoy his retirement. Are you noticing how every lottery winner comfortably donates some part of their fortune? It's probably not a coincidence. Good things come to those who give. Number 6. Brian McCarthy.
I went downstairs and I said, "Hey, Grammy, guess what? I won the lottery."
Now this one is a brain teaser. Brian McCarthy, a self-described regular guy, wasn't surprised after winning the lottery. Imagine not being surprised after winning $27 million because of luck. How lucky do you have to be to expect to win the lottery? The actual surprising part was how he would go on to use his newfound fortune. After claiming his prize, McCarthy did something many lottery winners don't do. He kept his job. He was just determined to not be a sellout. A retired corrections officer, he continued to work as a security guard, saying that he enjoyed the routine and didn't want to become lazy. However, he did take some time off to enjoy his winnings, which included buying a new house and car, as well as taking a luxury vacation to Hawaii. But McCarthy's biggest investment was in his family. He set up trust funds for his 2 children and 5 grandchildren, and also helped out his siblings and other relatives financially. Who says you need to invest in stocks or bonds to be successful? He later lost his wife to cancer, which inspired him to give a percentage of his winnings to organizations that support cancer research. McCarthy is now living a comfortable and quiet life, having crazy luck to thank for letting him live the life he has, with people around the world to thank him. Subscriber's Pick. It's time for today's Subscriber's Pick. One of our subscribers has shared an image with us that has left him and his friends confused and amused. Imagine going to a bank to pay a bill or retrieve your secret storage from the vault, and then you come across this. The man opening the vault is dressed in attire cozier than half our wardrobes. And what's inside the vault? He has an entire living room set up. Do you think he is the bank owner, or is there some money heist reference here? The answers await. Now on to the next one. Number 5. Jason Fry. What would you do if you were already working 3 jobs and still struggling to make ends meet? There's only so much a person can do. Jason Fry had a second daughter on the way, and almost lost his property because of the massive debt he was in. His world was crumbling, and he desperately needed a lucky break when he randomly bought a lottery ticket on a whim. You can guess what happened next, right? Jason won $47 million, and his life turned upside down in less than a day. All of his worries concerning finances vanished, and for the first time in his life, he could spend on things he didn't need but wanted. Jason first bought himself a boat and a motorcycle, but soon realized the responsibility he had to his family. He decided to be smart about this and go to work multiplying what he already had. He bought a golf driving range which got him $300,000 a year and invested in multiple Batteries Plus franchises. It's fair to say that the $47 million had him covered for life, but the way he managed his millions means his children would also live a calm and peaceful life. Number 4. Les Robbins. Your teachers weren't lying when they said their students were like their own children to them. Les Robbins understood how much a proper education mattered in the life of a child, and didn't like how kids born to wealthy families had an advantage from birth. His goal became much easier when he won the lottery in 1993, but it wasn't just any lottery win. Robbins had won a staggering $111 million in the multi-state lottery, making him one of the biggest lottery winners in the US at the time. Robbins was ecstatic, but he didn't let the money change him. He stayed true to his passion for education and used his winnings to create a summer camp for kids, striding to improve the quality of education of the children in his hometown. The camp was called Camp Winnegator, and it provided a safe and fun environment for children to learn and grow. He provided the best education he could find, and thought of everything a child might need at camp. He's kind of like the modern-day Robin Hood if you think about it, except he didn't steal the money. Number 3. Bob Erb. Meet Bob. Bob Erb's lottery win story is a unique one that many would envy, but not everyone would do the same things he did. After purchasing a lottery ticket in 2012, he hit the jackpot for a mind-blowing $25 million. Erb used to work in a mill, and understandably quit his job immediately after winning the lottery. He donated large sums of money to various organizations and causes, including a hospice center and local churches. He also gave some of the money to his children and grandchildren. He must have been a huge fan of hockey, because he donated a large amount to his town to build a new hockey rink. Erb is still living in his small town in British Columbia in Canada where he grew up. He continues to make donations to various causes and organizations, and even founded a charitable organization called the Bob Erb Foundation. The foundation aims to support initiatives related to mental health, addiction, and homelessness. Bob Erb, more like Bob the Builder if you ask us. Number 2. Harold Diamond. The last name Diamond has definitely had an effect on his personality. This guy is a total gem. After playing the lottery for years, he finally hit the jackpot at the age of 80, winning a whopping $326 million in the Mega Millions lottery. It seems all his life's work paid off at the same time. Diamond, a retired school principal from New York, was living a comfortable life before his big win, so he didn't really need the money. That enabled him to give to others. He knew that the money could make a significant difference in the lives of his family members and those in need. Rather than splurging on extravagant purchases, Diamond decided to use his winnings to give back to his community. He started a foundation with his wife, Carol, called the Carol and Harold Diamond Foundation, which focuses on improving education, healthcare, and other important causes. Since winning the lottery, Diamond has continued to be an active philanthropist, donating millions to various charities and organizations. He also used a portion of his winnings to set up a scholarship fund for the students in his hometown, living fully up to his name. It's very rare to find a diamond in the rough, but not impossible. Number 1. Sandra Hayes. Experts say money doesn't buy happiness, so Sandra Hayes decided not to spend it. Sandra was a retired worker from a small town in Missouri who found herself thrust into the national spotlight in 2006 after winning a Powerball jackpot worth $224 million. Winning this much money is not necessarily a good thing to be famous for, because it puts you on the target of robbers or, worse, acquaintances who might need a loan. Even people you didn't know existed will suddenly be your best friends. As for Sandra, her luck toppled overnight, before which she struggled through a difficult marriage and financial difficulties. Before her big win, Sandra was a mother of 2 working at a minimum wage job in a factory. Despite her meager salary, she never gave up hope of one day finding financial stability, and her hope eventually paid off. After claiming her prize, Sandra found herself inundated with attention from the media and strangers alike. Since then, Sandra has largely stayed out of the public eye, preferring to enjoy her retirement in peace. She remains active in her community, however, and continues to support local causes through her foundation. Her story is a reminder that sometimes good things do come to those who wait, and especially to those who struggle. That brings us to an end. Those were 15 of the smartest lottery winners you'll ever see. Don't forget to buy a lottery ticket. We'll see you in the next one.